Nucleolus. Nuclear membrane. Chromatin. Chromatid. Centromere. Chromosome. Cell membrane. Centrosomes. Spindle fiber.
The cell cycle has two subphases, interphase and the mitotic phase. Interphase has three subphases. The first is G1, where the cell begins to grow in size. The second phase is DNA synthesis, or the S phase. During this, the cell continues to grow and the chromatin replicate. The final phase is G2, where the cell continues to grow and all organelles duplicate. The mitotic phase is divided into two subphases, mitosis and cytokinesis. Mitosis consists of five subphases. The first is prophase, which begins when the nucleolus disappears. The chromatin may become tightly coiled and folded, becoming chromosomes. The two identical sister chromatids form, which are tightly joined by the centromere. Centrosomes move away from each other to opposite poles, and spindle fibers made of microtubules begin to form and grow out of the centrosomes. The microtubule organization centers are called centrioles. The second phase is prometaphase, and the nuclear membrane disappears, and the centrosomes reach opposite poles. The spindle fibers attach to the sister chromatids at their kinetochores. Some spindle fibers don't attach to any kinetochores but grow out anyways. Then the chromosomes begin to move towards the equator of the cell. The third phase is metaphase, and all centromeres of the chromosome line up on the metaphase plate or the equator of the cell. The fourth phase is anaphase, and then kinetochores separate, causing the sister chromatids to separate and become daughter chromosomes. The motor proteins inside the kinetochores walk with daughter chromosomes along the spindle fibers towards the opposite poles, and the chromosomes destroy the spindle fibers as they walk along them. The spindle fibers that aren't attached to the kinetochores elongate the cell by pushing on one another. The last phase is telophase, where the cell elongation continues and the nuclear membrane reappears. The chromosomes uncoil and become chromatin again. The second subphase of the mitotic phase is cytokinesis, which begins while telophase is still happening. It replicates the cytoplasm in organelles. In animal cells, there is a cleavage trio which pinches the cell into two genetically identical daughter cells. In plant cells, cell wall material collects at the middle of the cell, and vesicles fuse together, forming a cell plate, which forms a new cell wall, making two identical daughter cells. At the end of the cell cycle, all cells go back to G1 of interphase. Animal cells have centrosomes at the microtubule organization center, but plant